Last time you joined us as we split up,
We are actually moving 2 boats.
crossed an international border,
Woohoo!
and became the first boat to skip quarantine in Carriacou.
Hello, Grenada. So today is the day we finally get to do the survey, which is really exciting. So I'm just having a quick bowl of cereal, and then I think I need to jump in the dinghy and go find our surveyor. A really nice guy called Frank. Actually, we're picking up our surveyor and we're picking up a mechanic, I think called Jürgen. He's going to do a check over all the engines for us, make sure everything's sound there, and then we're going to go with our surveyor Frank and we'll go out for a sail for a bit. He'll look at the sails, he'll look at how the boat handles, make sure everything's working inside, and then go through all the interior for us and tell us if it's sound. We might be bringing along a guy called Paul, who is probably going to be taking over for him in the near future. So it should be quite a busy boat today, quite a lot of people on board, lots of things to look at and check, and here's hoping we manage to get the sails up properly and we don't look like idiots as we do it.
And we weren't wrong. With 5 of us on board, it didn't take long before the team got straight to work, measuring every single part of the boat. I had never realised how energetic marine surveyors need to be, but they have clearly mastered the art of boat yoga as they found their way into the smallest and most uncomfortable spaces on the boat. And I don't think I could have made it into some of them, even on my best day. Overall, things seemed to be going quite well, until we were called outside by Jörg for an update on the engines.
Don't tell me bad news.
Yes, then you have to take the engine a little bit higher.
Oh, you have to hoist? Oh
Yes,
man.
otherwise you have no access underneath. But the problem is, when we take the injectors out, then we need, there's some special seals inside.
To actually lock back in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when we have not the seals, you can use it as only one time. I think this is an electrical problem. The oil pressure gauge, it's not working 100%. Normally that goes up to 3.54.
Yeah.
And this one goes very low.
So you had to do a replacement? I don't know how.
It's quite difficult to take this engine out.
It would be.
Yes, you have some planks
You do it on track and...
and wood and maybe some rollers underneath.
Yeah, and then sort of drag it.
Slowly, and then you come with it.
With the concerning news about the 2 engines still ringing in our ears, there were plenty more measurements to be taken. A key part of any survey is moisture readings. They tell you if any seawater has made it into the fiberglass. A high reading could mean the end of our dreams to call this boat home. And this retro gadget? Well, it holds all the answers.
This is at the low end of moist. It's acceptable.
Okay.
Yes.
Things seem to be going quite well. I've just dropped Jörg back to shore, and so now we're just looking at some more of the internal things, looking at the heads, the bilges, those kind of things, making sure that all the valves working, and then we're going to head out to sea and get the sails up. So it's slightly nerve-wracking, kind of highlighting all the things that don't work on a boat that we're hoping to buy, but ultimately that is a good thing. That's what we want to do, because if we know what doesn't work, then we know exactly what we're buying.
There's this hose here, which is obviously not attached. It goes through here, up in the sky, not with a anti-siphon valve, back down again, and then it seems to go through here. How very strange.
And then for the fun part. We needed to inspect all the safety equipment on board, from flares to life rafts. I'm not sure if he asks everyone to do this, but when Paul requested a demonstration of the life jackets, I was only too happy to try them out. But I don't think I missed my calling as a flight attendant. What do you think?
So that's the 2 surveyors, Frank and Paul. They have just headed off for their lunch, and then we're going to go off on the sea trial, which actually involves sailing the boat. So you get to put the sails up, check there's no big rips or tears in them, check the running rigging is all working, not frayed and beaten up. So it just means that Brownie and I have to do a bit of a workout, because we have to do all the sailing while the 2 surveyors do all the looking around and checking that everything is as it should be. Today we are getting hauled out for the very first time in a boat we still don't own. So I'm really hoping that everything goes smoothly.
Anchor's coming up.
So it's only a little bit of a tight entrance. There's a tree growing in the middle of the channel. So a little bit of work to be done, but otherwise fine.
Will I go forward line then?
I'd still like to do stern first because then the boat will swing into the pontoon, whereas if you go forward line, we swing out.
Yeah, you've got to, okay.
Nice and slow.
Nice and slow.
Huge
Told you
line.
it was long.
Ah, professional.
Look at this. Good.
Woohoo!
So how did that go?
That was ridiculously good. So it's always that kind of, well, particularly monohulls, there's a fear factor as you approach a large, heavy piece of concrete. It's like you got to turn in time, you've got to work at prop wash and everything else. With this boat, it was like we crept forward and then we just kind of went in and just turned sideways and drifted in perfectly. And having Santorini on the dock to catch the lines just made it too easy.
Oh yeah, my job was super simple.
It was perfect and all the fenders are the right height and we're just bobbing here waiting our turn now. So
we're all done?
No. So this boat's going to go through the slip and get lifted on the hoist. However, we need to go back out and get Cayenne and we're going to tie her off somewhere else and then the two boats will be ready to go. They're going to launch a boat and then we're going to go up on the slip. And then we have to jump back out, shuffle some fenders and lines around because we haven't got enough and then we'll get Cayenne to come out as well.
So, one down, one to go.
One down, one to go and a few more steps in between and then we'll be on the hard.
So now we're lifting the anchor on Cayenne, but because we know there's a problem with the windlass, it was skipping and not pulling the anchor chain. I know that I don't have the strength, believe it or not, to lift the chain manually. So for that we have to swap. I have to helm and Ian is going to do all the manual labour. So yeah, that'll be fine. A little bit of rain coming through, so the wind has picked up slightly, which means all the boats are swinging a little bit, makes me slightly more nervous. Here we go.
Okay, hold it there.
Oh, this is horrible. This is horrible. The rain's coming on, it's windy, and I feel close to other boats. I do not like this. I really don't like this.
Well, I didn't expect to go swimming today.
Oh, the rain is getting us quite soaking. Oh, it's getting heavy. Excellent timing to try this, right? Just perfect. Oh, I can hardly see a thing. That boat is getting so wet. Look at you.
Okay, so that was unexpected. The radio report this morning said 50% chance of rain. I am absolutely soaked through and it's still hammering it down. Anyway, let's see if we can get ourselves into the dock. Properly nerve-wracking. This is the boat ready to get lifted now. So we managed to bring her in, managed to get her cleanly up against the wall here. We didn't hit anything, thankfully. And right now there's a diver in the water. He's just checking that the straps aren't going to break anything off, like in the log speed wheels and sensors that we have underneath the boat. If all that goes well, they then lift 13 tons of fiberglass and metal out of the water on this massive, massive crane. And we're going to get jet wash, get the bottom cleaned off because there's all sorts of things growing down there, and then she gets taken over and put on the hard, and that'll be our home for the next few while.
Before we knew it, the team at Tyrrell Bay had hoisted her safely out of the water, and we saw a whole new side to the boat we had been calling home. With scrapers at the ready, the guys set about removing months of barnacles from the bottom. And while they were at it, Frank and Paul took the opportunity to have a good look at everything that lives below the surface.
and there's a sleeve, it's sleeved on bolted through, you know.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
This one, interestingly enough, this one when you go to turn it, this is tweaked. It's kind of tighter to turn.
Yeah.
It's almost like this one has been replaced.
Yes. Yes.
And that one hasn't.
And with a few more moisture readings written on the hull with chalk, she was ready to be taken to her parking spot.
So we thought getting the boat in through the slip was going to be tricky. I would not want to be this crane operator. Look at how tight this gap is. He is crawling the tires inches away from the ladders of these other boats and all the securing straps and things that come with them. So properly tight spacing. He is doing an amazing job. It's just freaking me out seeing the boat hanging up there in midair as well. I'm not entirely sure that's where boats are supposed to be.
Thanks for watching. Join us next time as we get stuck into the tougher side of boat life on the Heart. To find out more, check out our website and find us on social media at Real Red Seas. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss a moment. If you'd like to support us, why not join our community on Patreon?
And that's it. We are out of the water and on the Heart. We've got no time to rest. We need to turn around and go and get the other boat, and I'll haul her and do it all again.